Welcome to the Narrative Breaker podcast. I'm skeptical. Let's get into it.
Joining us now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Mr. Prime Minister, thanks for the time.
Thank you. Good to be with you, and it's an opportunity to wish you and the American people and our Christian friends around the world, first of all, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You had these extensive
They hate Christians. What do we not get on? Like, does anybody not understand that? They hate Christians.
meetings at Mar-a-Lago Monday. What is your main takeaway from that? From
Everybody's money.
The strength of the alliance between Israel and America. Israel emerged from the Seven Front War that was foisted on us as the most powerful country in the Middle East. But part of that is this tremendous alliance that we have with the United States under President Trump. It's just a partnership of
Criminals.
like-minded peoples and leaders.
Murderers.
And I am very grateful to President Trump for that support that he gives us.
Let's talk about the ceasefire and where it stands. What has been so hard about getting to phase two, which is of this peace plan, the Hamas disarmament, getting an international stabilization force on the ground in Gaza?
Well, one word, disarmament. Hamas.
95% of Gaza is gone. You mean to tell me this powerful military can't beat or find Hamas? What are they all just running around their little tunnels? Get the fuck out of here.
Committed to disarm. It's got still about 20,000 people with basically Kalashnikov rifles, which they use periodically to execute anyone who doesn't want the continuation of their tyranny. So they kill a lot of Palestinians who don't want them. And they have altogether 60,000 AK rifles. That's what disarmament means. Got to take all these rifles, take them away from them. And
why would they give up all their rifles when you're over there killing them? Like, they're literally a resistance movement. Stop the fucking lies.
and break up those terror tunnels that they have. Still hundreds of kilometers of terror tunnels.
Yeah, in the
Hamas
city
refuses
that's
to do it.
Do
rubble.
you think you'll get there? Do you think you'll get to phase two, even though there's this unwillingness by Hamas to disarm?
Look, I think we have to give it a chance. There's an attempt to bring an international force. So far, it hasn't come to fruition, but we'll give it a chance.
They want to give it a
Because if
chance
can be
because the
done-
media is killing them.
Again, as the president and I have said, if it can be done the easy way, fine. And if not, it'll be done another way.
Coming into this meeting, there was some media reporting that said this was a crucial meeting for the future of the Gaza deal. This is what Axios wrote. White House officials think Netanyahu is slow-walking the peace process and fear he will resume the war with Hamas. But while the Israeli prime minister is butting heads with Trump's team, he hopes to bring the president himself over to his more hawkish point of view, a senior Israeli official said. Fair going into that meeting, and what do you take coming out of it?
Can't deal with any one of these fake spins because I didn't have to bring the president anywhere. We saw eye to eye. He cut right to the chase. He said, look, skip all this press stuff. I mean, the real thing is you've got to get Hamas to disarm. He just banged the nail on the head,
But did you hear any of that frustration about the strikes that you've completed since the ceasefire?
Not from the president, I have to tell you. I think he understands. Look, we're attacked. These terrorists try to kill us, unfortunately sometimes kill our soldiers. What would you do? Well, you just did. There was this jihadist in Syria who killed 2 Americans. Bam!
What about the settlers in the West Bank right now attacking American journalists? No? Nobody wants to step up for that? Fucking cowards.
Back. And the president instinctively and in any other way, conceptually, understands when you're fighting terrorists who want to kill you, kill them first or kill them in response.
Settler violence in the West Bank continues to rise, and that does threaten some regional stability. How are you addressing that?
Well,
He's not.
First of all, I think it's much bloated. When they're talking about it, they're talking about a handful of kids. We actually located it. It's about 70 kids. They're not from the West Bank. They're actually teenagers who come from broken homes, and they do things like chopping the olive trees, and sometimes they try to burn a home. I can't accept that. That's vigilantism. I'm taking that out. But they claim they put a false symmetry between these teenagers and 1,000, actually over 1,000 terrorist attacks against the settlers families, mothers who are driving on the roads there with their children, boom, they're attacked, they're slain. So there's no symmetry. I'm putting a special effort to stop this vigilantism. I can't accept it. Even if it's not parallel, even if it's not symmetrical, I want peaceful coexistence.
He's a bold-faced liar. He's not going to stop
Israelis and
anything.
the Palestinians who live in Judea, Samaria, which is part of our ancestral homeland.
The president said this.
I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%, but we will come to a conclusion on the West Bank.
Where's the daylight?
Oh, I think there's a lot of daylight, because I think we both want to see a future in which that territory is not used for terrorist attacks. We've done a lot of things in that regard. We also want to build...
If you stop bombing them, there will be no more terrorist attacks.
a lot of infrastructure there, both for us and for our Palestinian neighbors. And I think there's a lot of room to talk about it. But I think ultimately, Israel has to have the military control over this area because it's so tiny.
Do you see an international stabilization force in Gaza being on the ground in 26? Do you see a new government that you could live with in Gaza in 2026?
I think you have to ask, as far as the second question is concerned, a new government in Gaza is possible if you disarm Hamas. Because no one's going to come in there if Hamas stays armed, and they'll put a bullet right through the back of their head.
Nobody wants to go there because the Jews are still running everything.
So the answer to your question is, if we disarm Hamas, whether with an international force or by any other means, yes, I see a different future for Gaza. And it's the one remaining step. Everybody understands that. I think Hamas understands it. That's why they don't want to do it, because, the point here is not to negotiate with Hamas. That's not the job, their job. Their job is to vanish, stop, no more. And you know who wants it more than anyone else? The people of Gaza.
The president talked about the threat from Iran. How much has Iran rebuilt its nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities since June?
Well, it's trying to, and the president was correct when he said that, the Fordo thing was obliterated, so they're trying other sites. They'll try that. They also are trying to recover.
To be clear, they failed. That bomb that they did on Iran earlier in the year, it failed.
Their ballistic missile production facility. It's not, we set them back considerably on both areas, but yeah, they'll try. And I think the president was right to tell them, hey, don't. That's basically what his message was. And I think with Iran, the real issue is they should accept the fact that they shouldn't have nuclear enrichment capability. They should take out all the material that they've already enriched, take it out of Iran, and have inspections.
Judging by the president, Iran's president over the weekend said that his country is in, quote, full-scale war with the U.S., Israel, and Europe. What do you think the chances are, if you were to put a percentage on it, that you, Israel, or the U.S. is going to have to take some action again inside Iran?
Well, I'll tell you about action, because I was
he knows 100%.
A few days ago, actually 2 weeks ago.
He loves it.
Prospect that they're having field exercises in which they're practicing launching ballistic missiles at Israel. So all
right, whatever. Listen to this bucking guy just sit here and spew nonsense. All right. Till the next one, we'll be back at it.